On pin. I say thank you to everyone for patiently waiting in the waiting room while we just finished up an executive session and we are going to get this meeting started. I'm just pinning all of the commissioners. One, two. Okay, that's everybody. All right. And then I pinned somebody who wasn't a commissioner by accident. Remove pin. Okay. All right. So, wait, I just lost Andrea. Where'd Andrea go? Okay. So, in accordance with in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being audio video recorded. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken from these discussions. Not all items may be discussed and other items may be raised to the extent of permitted by open meeting law. Please be advised that the town of Lunenburg utilizes Zoom platform as host for its hybrid and remote meetings. The Zoom platform utilizes AI technology known as AI Companion to create audio transcriptions of meetings to aid in the subsequent preparation of meeting minutes. The AI Companion is activated immediately upon launching the Zoom application. You are hereby notified that the AI technology may capture audio prior to the start of the meeting and or following the conclusion of the meeting. We are opening the meeting of the Lunenburg Conservation Commission for March 18th, 2026 at 7:13 p.m. Going to do a roll call. Richard Bursch,
Present.
Mike LaRouche,
Present.
Andrea Burnett,
Present.
and I, Jennifer Puther, am present. Mary Wilson and Teddy Doucette are not present tonight. And it is Thursday at 7:13 p.m. Okay. We don't have any appointments. For announcements, public comment, comments are to be limited to 3 minutes and on a subject matter under the director section of the commission. Comments about current agenda items are to be made during the comment period of the specific agenda item. Please address all comments to the chair. We do have one person who has asked to be recognized for public comment. That is Justin Rapucci, for stormwater issues. I did see you on the meeting here. You are. Justin, did you still want to make a public comment about stormwater?
Do you want to ask him to unmute himself?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I figured it out. I got it.
Okay, there you are. Okay, so if you just want to say your name and your address for the record, and then we're happy to hear any comments that you have.
Hi, my name is Justin Rapucci, and my address is at 1147 Mass Ave, Lunenburg. And I was just reaching out to the Stormwater Committee to find out what resources as a resident are available to me.
Okay, so this is, I guess maybe you reached out to me because of the stormwater. I'm on the Stormwater Commission too. This is conservation. Although as far as resources for stormwater, your best bet, I guess, what is the issue that you're experiencing?
We're experiencing a significant water intrusion during rain events. It comes up through the basement floor under pressure, and we believe it correlates directly with the flow of the culvert on Route 2A.
So that is that a river or a brook that runs next to you? I can't remember. But I think it's a brook. Is that?
It's
I'd have to look.
stormwater. It's stormwater. It dries up during the summer when it doesn't rain.
So that's still actually like an intermittent stream? when it dries up during the summer. So
Oh,
it's technically,
I don't
I
know
have
that,
to like,
I don't know what the terms are, but
yeah.
it completely dries out during the summer.
So as far as groundwater coming into your basement during, significant rain events or you probably do live on a high water table. I can't say that for sure. But you are right next to a stream, most likely. But there's one thing is if you thought that like rain was coming down your driveway, which I don't think so because your driveway has been regraded, and then, entering, that would be one thing maybe you could talk to the DPW about. But if
Mhm.
it's groundwater, which I think, it sounds like it is, if you're seeing it when it happens with rain, that's the rain is recharging the groundwater and then the groundwater is surging and it's coming up in your basement. It happens to my basement too. Um, and I don't live anywhere near a stream. I just, there are definitely things you can do to mitigate that. Like you could look at French drains. Um, I think that if you thought that it was coming from the town, you could reach out to the DPW. Um, but as far
Would
as what
the,
you're
would the stormwater committee find out where the water's coming from?
probably not, if it's, I mean, we can't, the stormwater task force is to get a stormwater utility going in Lunenburg, which is a lot of towns in Massachusetts have where it's not, is it money is collected separately, kind of like the sewer commission, and that goes toward strengthening our stormwater infrastructure in town because obviously stormwater is a huge issue right now. So getting, groundwater to recharge in places like rain gardens or, making sure that people are taking care of their stormwater systems. But that's really what that committee is doing or that task force is doing is more trying to get that going. Um, so
Was this about the violations on my property too? Were you going to address those today?
yeah, so we have the violations section and then, I did send you that email. If you don't necessarily have to be here and wait for that. Like we could talk about that in the email too, and you could talk to our agent. That way you don't have to sit in a meeting and talk about it. What do you think about that, Herland?
I was gonna ask if the commission is amicable to maybe taking things out of order for this particular matter since the applicant is, I'm sorry, since the property owner is already here,
Okay,
and maybe addressing that one single violation now. I did
I'm
have a
okay with that.
discussion that I put in the meeting materials. And then as regard when it comes to the stormwater issue, if the property owner would like to contact me again, I had no context as to what was happening, but if he would like to contact me directly, I can put him in touch with DPW and sort of arrange something. If the water if the water that's accumulating in your home is because of drainage or stormwater that belongs to the town, I think there's a process in place. And if it's on your private property, then they could probably advise you as to how to mitigate that.
Sounds great.
Okay, so as far as hearing things out of order, I am fine with talking about this violation at 1147 Mass Ave now. Um, do I have any comments from members of the commission? Does anyone have any thoughts otherwise, or are we okay with taking this out of order?
I'm okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike.
And I'm not hearing anything otherwise, so oh, and I'm getting some thumbs up here, so I think we're good. Okay. Um, so we've had this as a violation for a while. We had, you had your application for what's called an RDA back in 2024, and your RDA was to regrade your driveway and then but not touch any of the vegetation beyond like from that berm or beyond. And then
Mhm.
driving past, it was noticed that two like pretty significant trees that are on your property that are also in the buffer zone are gone. And it does look like some of the vegetation beyond that berm was touched. and which is also in the buffer zone. So that is where that violation stems from. And I think I had sent those pictures. I can bring those up on my screen. Give me one second. Two. Sent. Pump this out. Oh, where is? Nope. Okay. All right, now let me share. Okay, so can everybody, can you see my screen? Everyone?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. So this was the original condition. So as you can see on the right, there was a garage at the time. The garage was removed. Um, the driveway was obviously very low. The water was coming through from the, I'm pretty sure it's a stream that's right next to there. Herlin, do you recall if that's a stream?
I believe it is.
Okay. Um, so there, the water kind of comes through underneath that berm and sits there. I believe it was going into the garage at that time because I remember seeing something in front of the garage door, kind of trying to keep that water out of the garage. And one of the things that was, those were the original conditions, and you can see there's this pretty big tree right here, pretty big tree right here. The corner of the house is here, and then the grading was gonna bring it up to the berm here, but then not touch really any vegetation beyond this part of the berm was what was in the application. And then these are the current conditions. So it looks like it's gone pretty far past where it was supposed to go. But then also those trees are gone. So, and also there's a tree
We're
missing here that it appears to be gone.
no, that tree that you're mentioning, that one's actually still there. It's just the two pictures, they're not at the same, they're not zoomed in at the same like if you look at
Okay.
both of the pictures, the size of the house, it's two different sizes. So the first
Yeah.
picture is zoomed in farther, so you're missing that other tree. But the tree that you just mentioned on the left still exists. We
Okay.
did some basic, we basically just did some basic yard maintenance on the property. There was a lot of poison ivy that we mitigated just because we have children running around the yard. And then the two trees that we ended up removing, they were dead and pose an immediate hazard to our family and our home. And so we had those taken down, but I wasn't aware that I needed a permit.
So these two trees were dead?
No, the only that one that you're pointing at right now is the only tree that was removed. That one on the left, the one that the one that you just that one is still exists. The tree that we removed is right ahead. If the first one that you pointed at.
Okay. So that was here.
Yes,
Okay.
and it was leaning towards us, and the kids were playing. One day, a branch came down close to my son, and I just was like, I thought that we needed to just take care of it. I didn't realize that I might have been able to get help from the town.
Okay. Yeah. So anything that's in a certain amount of feet of the wetland, which is that stream, which is the reason that they had to do the RDA, needs to be approved. So like before you take a tree down, you're supposed to come to conservation, or maybe if it's an emergency, you can get an emergency determination. Um, so yeah, that should have been permitted. So this tree is still there? You're
That tree
saying?
is still there. Yep.
And then
All those
this
trees
tree is
still
still there?
exist. All those trees along that perimeter line still exist. I did not touch anything except
Okay,
for the that one tree right there.
okay. Um, okay. So I guess, but the other issue was the going further. It does appear that it should have, should have ended about right here. And it appears that
We
the
w-
driveway is going back to probably around here, right?
no, we never moved the berm back. We went up to the top, the height of the berm. We didn't push anything back. We never went any further back. We went to the berm.
Okay. Okay. Do any commissioners have any questions? Does not look like it. So, Richard, you have your hand raised, Richard. Sorry.
Yeah, I just had a quick question to Justin. Did the water problem in the basement um, occur after you filled in your old driveway, or has it always been there?
Um, are you asking if it occurs after I did all this work?
No, was it? Did you have water coming into your basement prior to the work?
I had water coming into my basement prior to the work, correct?
Okay. So your issues are long-standing. It's not something that just started with something being done out on the road or some recent change in drainage.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Okay, so I mean, it sounds like if the other trees are still there, there's just that one big tree. Um, that was taken down. I think that, I mean, would we be looking for maybe a replacement planting for that tree? I haven't dealt with a lot of violations, so I am
Yeah, I mean,
open
technically
to
they should
suggest.
just file an RDA for the tree that they took out,
Okay,
or at minimum a administrator's determination,
okay,
which if there was just one tree would probably be the case, but they still should, even if it's after the fact, they still need to file something on record, and then we can
okay,
decide on the replacement.
okay. I think that sounds like a good idea, Richard. Thank you. Harlan, you have your hand up.
Hi, can you bring up those pictures?
Absolutely.
I think I just shared with you the original RDA request, and I think it states gravel and cap with regrinds on the driveway, but the driveway looks like it's paved, or am I seeing
I
that?
think it is gravel. I kind of
Okay.
zoomed in. Let me pull that back up. So share, nope, not that one.
It's regrind. We didn't pave
Okay.
it.
Um,
Yeah, it's like a really good regrind job.
Yeah,
okay.
Because
it's really
it
nice.
does look great.
It packs down extremely nice. It's almost like
Yeah.
having an actual driveway.
So yeah, so it's it does not want to let me zoom nicely because I'm pulling this up from the email so that I could have both there. But yeah, it does look like a regrind. Just a good one. The other thing is like these gardens, which they're great. But also they are also, kind of encroaching into the buffer zone. So, um, was that your only
I
question,
didn't
Harlan?
realize that that was encroaching.
I think it would be best if we continued this matter and I scheduled the site walk with the applicant and explained to him what is jurisdictional under the Wetlands Protection Act and what can and can't be done.
Okay.
Um, I know that Rich had mentioned some refiling for plantings. I would also add that the commission be willing to let me go out there, have a site inspection with the property owner, and we can kind of discuss mitigation.
Yeah.
It does look like they filled up to the berm, but in the RDA, the information I was able to find, there's no square footage for all the impervious area that was, or not impervious, but the asphalt the regrind that was brought in. The elevation, there's no calculations for that. And I
Right.
think it might be a little too late to have them take it all down. So we have to find some like happy medium.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think the big thing for me is really the tree. Or if it's just one tree, obviously it's still, I would like to see that mitigated. Um, but yeah, I think it would be great if you could meet with the applicant and then kind of advise them from there and then do an RDA for what needs to be done or administrative determination of some sort, or do we
Yeah,
want
I
to
think we can
move forward
come
like
to
that?
terms with that. Yeah, when we
Okay.
meet on site.
Okay. Yeah. So, how does that sound to the rest of the commission? Would I
Madam
need a
Chair,
vote for that? Yes, Mike.
I just want to know what kind of tree it was that was taken down.
Do you know what
Um,
kind of tree
it,
it was, Mr. Fucci? No.
um, I'm not sure what kind of tree it was.
It looks like it's the same kind of tree as the one next to it that you say is still there. So maybe we can figure it out when you're on site with Herlin. Um, but you can't identify it from the picture, Mike? No. Okay.
I cannot.
Yeah, it's pretty far away. Richard, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just going to mention, I thought the driveway was basically just replace in kind. They had a driveway there and they just raised the elevation. And the
Right.
driveway that is there now is basically the same footprint as the driveway that was there prior.
That was, I think, the intention. It was supposed to go up to the top of the berm, and he's saying that's
Yeah,
what they did. It
yeah.
does look bigger, but
The
That's
drive,
why,
the
like you
driveway's
said,
actually, the driveway's actually smaller. It
yeah,
doesn't go as far into the backyard. It's probably about, 10 feet shorter. The pictures, the way that you're looking at them, they're not the same size, so it's really hard for you to tell.
yeah. I was going to mention that the pictures are not the same at the same point, so it's a little hard to compare.
yeah.
But yeah, to me, it looks like it's in kind.
Okay.
So, but I think it's a good
The
idea for
driveway,
Helen to take a quick walk out there, and then she can look at the tree that's missing and determine the best way to proceed.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you, Richard. All right. So, I think with that, we don't need to vote on anything for that. I don't believe.
I don't
So,
think so.
okay. So Herlin will reach out to you about next steps, Mr. Apucci.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming in.
I appreciate it. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Thanks, Justin.
You too. You're welcome.
Okay. Do we have any public comment from any other members of the public? Okay. Minutes of previous meetings. We have two sets of minutes to approve for March 4th, 2026 and February 4th, 2026. Has everyone had a chance to look at them? Okay,
Yes, Madam Chair.
awesome. All right, so I think I'd be looking for a motion to approve both sets of minutes. If
I'd make
anyone is,
to approve February 4th, 2026 minutes.
okay.
Second,
All right, roll call vote, Mike LaRouche,
aye.
Richard Bursch,
All right.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself. And then do I have a motion for 3-4?
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of March 4th, 2026 as presented.
Second,
All right, roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself. All right, moving on to new public hearings. So pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, notice of intent by Hickory Hills Landowners Association for the construction of a handicap parking area, ramp and dock at 19 Island Road, NOI-25-24. Do we have the applicant or representative on the call?
Good evening, Madam Chair. Matt Morrow, representing the Hickory Hills Landowner Association. With me also is David McDonald, from the Hickory Hills Landowners Association as well. If I am okay to share my screen, that would be awesome.
You are. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So we're working on opening this hearing. I know we're probably going to have to continue it because the stormwater calculations that I have the engineer working on aren't quite finished yet. And DEP's comments was that the stormwater calc should be submitted to you guys in the DEP for review prior to closing the hearing out. So I wanted to outline what the project was about this evening. So first off, I'm going to start with, hopefully it'll switch screens here. Can you guys see the ortho photo I just put up?
I see the visual of the like sandy area and the
Okay.
dock.
I'm just gonna, it's my computer for some reason doesn't like doing it that way. So let's just do it this way. How's that?
Perfect. I can
Okay.
see.
So just to give you an idea of where the location is. So we have 19 Island Road, which is the beach. You have the tail end of Park Street Terrace here going into the Hickory Hills landowners area on the common beach. And what they wanted to do is they want to put a handicapped accessible ramp with a handicapped accessible space at the end of Park Street Terrace with a ramp and an ADA dock. So I'm going to stop my screen share and go back to the rendering that I have. So what we're looking at, we have an ADA accessible parking space, which would be made out of regrind. It would be labeled with a handicap sign. And the dimensions you're seeing on here are standard architectural access board dimensions for a van accessible space. That would meet the 2% slope requirement. The area you have here is a ramp that actually would be, it looks flush to the ground here, but it wouldn't. It would actually be peered off the ground. I believe in the notice of intent packet I had submitted, it showed a profile rendering on that. They would lead to the ADA dock, which would be pinned in by posts to allow the dock to go up and down depending on the level of the lake, like the other docks you have there go. The area is in floodplain, but there would be no alteration to the floodplain. The amount of land underwater that would be taken up by the pins for the dock would be about 48 square feet total. This again is in floodplain, but there's no change in elevation proposed. The other part that the DEP asked for was that the elevations be shot so that we are able to verify that there was no floodplain filled on an as-built. As-built basically would require just a few shots because it's such a small area. The reason why the stormwater calcs are required on the parking space, even though it's a small space and it's one space, because it's a regrind material, and it's not associated with a single family house, like a driveway would be. There's like a technical, I call it a technical gotcha for something this small, but it does require nonetheless the stormwater calcs. We have Christopher Stoddard from Stoddard Engineering working on those as we speak. He was just waiting for the snow to subside to go out and finish doing the locations. He'll have those done next week. Stormwater can be sent to DEP and to Hurlin for review. What I'd really like from the commission is any feedback that I can give to Chris as well.
Can you go back to the other drawing for me?
Sure. That was actually just like a quick sketch rendering,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll go right back to it. Look at this. I'm getting fast after all these years. I'm getting faster on the screen share finally.
So the ramp is really pretty close to the right, if you're looking at it from the water, the right side wood line.
That's correct.
Because we were trying to tell, when I was out there on a site walk, I went on Sunday to look. I was trying to figure out where it was going based on the drawing that I had. So
Mhm.
the drawing that I had kind of put it in front of the parking lot.
Yeah,
And I
that
was,
might have been just I submitted several drawings. Took a while to perfect it because I was using rendering techniques. I'm not an engineer. So
okay. Do you have a drawing, like a current drawing that shows, I mean, I guess that this shows it, but like there was a measurement of 200, I think it was 265 feet from the
So that
inlet.
was from the edge of I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute and I'm
Okay.
gonna pull up I'm gonna pull up the ortho photo. So just
Okay.
give me 1 sec. Do. Thank you for your patience.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to screen sharing here. So that measurement you had was actually from here. See this area right here? That is a perennial stream.
Yep.
So I wanted to illustrate to the commission and to DEP that, well, under regulation, the riverfront actually ends in a basically in a perpendicular line or a parallel line to where the culvert basically ends. So your pond area, your lake area begins here. Your riverfront essentially ends in a straight line right at this end of Island Road. So the riverfront does not arc onto the property. But I
Okay.
wanted to show the DEP where it does end. The work came out to approximately 276 feet away, so that there was absolutely no possibility of riverfront. I believe I also spelled that out in my notice of intent narrative, which I am looking at.
You did. I think that's where I saw that.
Yeah, so that's essentially what I was looking to point out. Knowing that the riverfront goes in a straight line and would end and actually starts back more towards Beachview, I just wanted to eliminate any possibility that any of the work would be located in any semblance of a riverfront. I was being extra conservative on that measurement, was what I was doing.
So when we were out there, there was a ramp that was sitting on the beach. Would this be replacing that ramp?
I'll let David McDonald answer that question because I don't remember the ramp, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yes, how you guys doing? Thank you for listening to us tonight. Can you guys hear me
Thanks for
okay?
coming. Yep.
I'm happy you guys are back in business. This is great. The ramp is going to replace what's existing there. So if you did a site survey, you probably saw the ramp. That's where the harvester is located. We're going to just extend that, make it a handicap ramp. And I think Matt Proctor's on the line. He gave a sketch on how he's going to do with the handicap parking. But mainly what this is a replace of what's there now. Access for the handicapped people or elderly on the lake. I personally think every lake should have some sort of handicap access to the people who live on the property. But this is more of a park your car, park your van, unload, go to the boat and hop on your boat. So it's not like a handicap parking situation that you see in malls or whatever. It's more of a convenience for the elderly and handicap of Lunenburg and the residents of Hickory Hills.
So essentially, Madam Chair, that the specs I was showing you in the earlier rendering are the parking lot is going to not have greater than a 2% slope, which is the Architectural Access Board requirement. The slope and the length of the ramp going to the dock is actually dictated by, we call them ABB architect or AAB Architectural Access Board standards. Hence the need for the dimensions that I had on this, which I'll show you again. See what we got.
And Matt, while you're talking, this would be access through Park Ave, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Park Street Avenue.
Park Street. We also have John Fortune, who's the guru of Hickory Hills. He's on the line. He's also the chairman of the Hickory Hills Board of Directors. John, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So, so the ramp that's there on the side right now, so that's going to be not in use anymore. This will be
Correct.
a replacement of that. Okay.
Correct.
And is this going exactly where that's typically put in, but just obviously longer?
Correct.
It's going to be modified though for handicap accessibility. So
Okay.
there's a special ramp that's been ordered.
Short answer, yes.
Okay. Okay. Do I have any questions for members of the commission? Or Matt Proctor? Oh, right, Richard, you have your hand up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I personally don't have any problems with it as presented so far. My question is going to be on accessibility. Is this handicapped accessible parking, ramp, and dock going to be for the general public? Or is this only for landowners at Hickory Hills?
It's for residents at Hickory Hills
Okay, so it's not
and their friends.
public, it's
Yeah,
just
and whoever they
for
invite.
residents of Hickory Hills.
Yeah, and their invited guests.
Okay. And is it going to be policed at all, or I just want to make sure it doesn't become just a general parking and public dock?
It's within a gated area. So right next to this is where the boat launch is, and which is also gated. So it's all within a gated and enclosed area, so it won't have general access.
Okay, so only people that have access to the gate and permission to open it will have access to this parking space and dock.
Correct. And as you may recall, we have security that's there through most of the summer daylight hours, monitoring the area.
Okay, thank you very much, John.
All right. Do you have any other questions, Richard? Nope. Okay. Andrea, you have your hand.
Yes, thank you. I just have a question about the regrind surface. I'm not familiar with that at all, and I'm wondering if it's at all permeable or how that works.
So a regrind surface is only semi-permeable, and it actually would have to be packed down to the point it may not even be permeable. But one of the things we will do around it as part of the 8 feet that you see on the screen is put a gravel apron around it. That's part of the reason why DEP wants the stormwater calculations. We can't have an actual semi-permeable, like a loose gravel surface for a handicapped space. That doesn't meet code.
Right.
You have to have something that's packed down like a stone dust, or in this case, regrind is basically just grindings that were taken up off the road and recycled for miscellaneous uses, like parking spaces, like this.
Uh-huh. What is the material?
It's bituminous concrete, it's pavement.
Okay.
It's ground pavement. So when you see, like, for example, when roads are basically resurfaced and they grind up the old pavement, that is a lot of companies stockpile that and then distribute it as recycled material to, stabilize dirt parking lots to, keep them from turning into mud, creating a parking surface area. In some cases, they use a liquid adhesive and almost make it like complete recycled pavement. That's not happening here. There's no chemical that's going to be added. It's just the basic regrind.
Okay, thank you.
And Matt, also we have, I think Matt, are you there? Matt Proctor?
I see him on. He is muted.
Okay, so Matt is an expert at this, and we've had numerous meetings out on the site. So Matt, you there?
Well, Matt Morrow talking for a minute. I actually can vouch for Matt Proctor's work on this. I've worked with Matt on
Yes,
projects in the private sector.
yes.
And yeah, he'll make quick and clean work of this. I have no doubt.
Okay.
And our concern, just so the commission knows, is that this is mainly an area that we can come in and park your vehicle and bring your vehicle over to the parking and let the handicap or the seniors enjoy the lake. That's what it's all about.
I have a quick question, and then I see that Zaherlin has her hand raised. The handrail, it only goes down halfway and then it resumes once it gets to the next dots. Is that an actual rendering of how it's going to be, or will there be a handrail going entirely down the decking?
Well, hand railings don't
I
typically.
think it's handy.
They can go either
Sorry?
or. The hand railings can go either or. They can go halfway down. They can go all the way down. This is just an example rendering of the typical type of ramp and dock system that is being used here. I wanted to make sure that dimensions and the sloping was clear so that the commission could see what it would, what it would look like practically applied onto the lake surface. The rails would actually be tied to the ramp, so they wouldn't be posted into the ground. They would actually be, physically put
Yeah.
on the ramp side itself.
Okay. I was thinking normally you'd think if it's handicapped accessible, there would be a railing like going all the way down so they'd have something to hold on
But
to.
they also have the vendor selling, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the vendor also has stop guards. So if you look at the ramp itself, and it's not illustrated in this, but there's like I would say a 2x2 board at the end of the ramp so a wheelchair won't go flying off of the ramp and stuff like that.
Okay.
So the railings are supplied, and they're movable, to be honest with you, so you can move it any way you really want to do to
Okay.
protect people from falling in.
Yeah, and it's a safety feature. So we won't be pushing any wheelchairs into the water.
Okay. Good to know.
And one last thing, the other thing we wanted to do is make sure that we follow not only the ADA handicap laws, but also to protect conservation. So I want to thank publicly Matt Morrow for helping us to get this done. This has been a project on Hickory Hills for a long time, and a lot of people are supporting this, and they really want it. And I'll be honest with you, I believe it should be done on all lakes. Actually, it should be handicap accessible.
Yep. Totally. Okay. Thank you guys. Harlan, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if they were digging for the parking space. Matt, are you going to be digging? How deep? Sorry, I'm just reading over my notes here for 19 Island. The maximum depth of material proposed for the ADA parking area. I know that you just said that you're going to do some perimeter around it,
Yeah,
around the regrind.
you're talking maybe a foot or less.
Okay.
It basically what would happen is the material would be removed, and it would be put back to elevation. So the whole point is not to change the elevation at all.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Harlan. Richard, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I had a quick question. Have you reviewed either concrete or regular asphalt pavement for the parking area? Then I see that you have concrete for the ramp. And my concern is that regrinds aren't really long term. They do fracture off from the edges really quickly, and we'll either be adding more product in over time. It does tend to erode somewhat. It could possibly erode into the lake, where if you used a new asphalt pad, you would tend not to be losing the edges, and it would be a little more permanent, and then not subject to possible expansion or encroachment.
Well, as far as the materials go and any budgetary issues, I'll leave that for John and David to answer. But from a practical standpoint, as I was alluding to earlier, there's going to be basically a gravel drip apron going around here, which would prevent anything from migrating off. The area over here is going to have to be packed down to the point where it's almost as hard packed as actual pavement would be. And the reason being is it can't sit there and fracture off to that point because it wouldn't meet the Architectural Access Board code. So it almost has to be like pavement, but I believe it's a monetary function. I know that, the ramp itself is actually being funded by, David, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you got a grant for this.
No, we went out to Hickory Hills for the last 3 years, and we've got donations.
Then it
And
was
Richard,
fundraising.
Richard, by the way, that was a very good question, and thank you. I haven't seen you for a while, so I hope all is well. But one of the things that we're looking at is, and again, I build retail stores, so you got to do handicap ramps a certain way in Massachusetts and nationwide. And what Matt was saying is absolutely correct. I would rather use a concrete down to the ramp, but Matt Proctor is an expert at this, so we're doing what he recommended. And would there be maintenance to it? I think it's going to be maintenance to anything that has water going down by the lake. I think that's something that has to, John, I'm sure from Hickory Hills is going to put in a plan to make sure this is maintained. I mean, that's kind of a natural thing. John, am I not mistaken?
Oh yeah, there will be, and then like you said, for ADA compliance, there are certain things that are allowed, and that's I think what Richard's alluding to, right? So yes, concrete is one of them because of its smoothness and easier to move a chair on. And then we felt that as long as we could get the vehicle next. Here I am talking, and I'm talking to myself. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's good. You do that a lot, John.
Yeah, I do that a lot. So sorry. What I was saying though was yes, concrete is an ADA compliant material. That's why we're planning to use that. Matt Project suggested the regrinds. He said, as Matt Morrow has mentioned, they pack down pretty well. As long as we can get a vehicle near the concrete ramp, which is the idea, we shouldn't have any problem with that, with those two materials.
Okay. Yeah. Again, my question is, and having worked with regrinds, I mean, yes, you can pack it down. Yes, it does have more lifespan than just gravel does, but it doesn't have the lifespan that a properly laid asphalt pad or concrete pad for the parking would have. And, as far as the permeability, yes, Matt's correct that, once you pack down the regrinds, it is basically impermeable. So to put in the proper asphalt isn't really going to change the calculations versus the regrinds. I just think it's probably in this application, this close to the water's edge, maybe a better material to be using and give you a longer term product than the regrinds and just packing those down are going to have.
Richard, I really appreciate what you just said, because when we're doing this, we're concerned about conservation. That was our number one issue, and that's why we got to thank Matt for helping us through this. Personally, I would rather put asphalt down than the regrinds, but I also living on the lake for 22 years. I'm concerned about what goes in. I think the regrinds is a good alternative for now, but I think this board should think about the future of what. I don't think we're going to be the only lake that does this. I think if everybody has their way, we should start looking at handicap areas throughout the waterfronts in Hickory Hills and on Lake Shirley and all the other lakes. Just my opinion, Rich.
The other thing
I certainly agree with that. And where this is, even though it's not truly a public access, you do have 300 or 400 residents of Hickory Hills that will have access to this, so yes, you do need a waiver to put it in, but there is a much greater good to this small intrusion than, every person on the lakes trying to put a handicap parking down at their own water's edge. So,
right.
I mean, I am trying to look at the amount of people that will benefit from this one parking space, and to have it long-term and not have to worry about the regrinds fracturing off and getting into the lake. And I think myself just putting in the blacktop, your permeability isn't going to change. So
I appreciate that a lot. That
finished
makes me feel good,
blacktop
Richard.
parking space.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, myself, I think either surface would be fine because I believe actually, Rich, you were starting to kind of allude to the point in a different way, but this would be a low frequency use spot. So it's not like it's going to be heavily trafficked. It will be trafficked enough. So yeah, I mean, it's versus regrind versus pavement. Pavement may actually last longer because of the lower use.
I guess the bottom line is, Richard, in your opinion, what's the right thing to do? I mean, our engineers, we talked to that, and we talked with the lawyers from the ADA in Boston. I mean, we were happy with what we had, but if you're recommending asphalt, I would gladly do that. John, what do you think about that?
No, I agree. I think for all the same reasons, it'll last a lot longer.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same product, but a properly properly installed asphalt parking space is going to last a lot longer than a properly installed
Yeah,
regrind space. And they're the same product. It's just, regrind is just ground asphalt. So we're not looking at differing products. I mean, everybody knows that the regrinds are going to fracture off. You generally don't get fracturing off of a properly installed asphalt parking space.
Richard, thank
So-
you. That's all I got to tell you. It's refreshing to hear you say that. So we just want to do it right. We want to make sure that this is an example of what's going to happen on Lake Shirley or Lake Whalum. I mean, I don't know what they do, but everyone's getting up there in age, and we got to start considering that. And I appreciate you guys' time tonight. I really do. Thank you.
Richard,
Yes.
do we have any other questions for members of the commission? Do we have any questions or comments from members of the public? Okay, so I know we can't close this out tonight because we still need to address the DEP comments about the stormwater calculations. And then also, do you have a plan that shows where the erosion controls are going?
Yeah, that'll be coming along with the stormwater calcs too.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, so I think is there, unless anyone has anything else to add, I'd be looking for a motion to continue to
So
our
moved to
April 1st, 2026
April
meeting.
1st,
No
2026.
fooling.
Hey, I have one more question and comment,
Oh, yeah.
Jenny. I just want to thank you for stepping up and doing a good job for Lunenburg Conservation. My heart's in
thank you.
Lunenburg, and I just appreciate all you guys, what your effort to do. You guys do a fantastic job. So thank you, guys.
All right, we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You want me to drink for that one? That's-
Wow. Okay, on that
Nice.
one, I'm just gonna say night.
Okay, so Richard had a motion to continue to April 1st, 2026. Do I have a second? Mike, I think you're seconding, but you're muted.
Let's try this. I'll second that motion.
All right, roll call vote to continue to April 1st, 2026. We'll wait for stormwater calculations and erosion controls on the plan. Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnap,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay, continue to April 1st, 2026, and we will see you all then.
All right, good night, guys.
Thanks, good night.
Thank you.
Okay. Up next, we have a new public hearing pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws. Notice of intent by Mike Pataski for the construction of a single-family home with a garage. Oh, sorry, Pataski. Yeah, but I said it right, I think. At 922 Flat Hill Road, NOI-26-2. Do we have the applicant or representative on the call?
Representative Lara Green,
Okay,
good evening.
good evening.
Can I share my screen?
Absolutely. Please do.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet, but it looks like it's trying.
Okay.
It says, there you go. Now I
Oh,
can.
sweet. Okay, thank you. So say here, present the notice of intent for the basically construction of a new single-family residence situated on 922 Flat Hill Road. I'm just gonna kind of work left to right off the plan. You can see Flat Hill Road's on the left. You kind of see the subject parcels to the right. It's kind of that rectangle with kind of the point at the end of it. At that point is actually Catacootamog Road. Now kind of working way back up left, you kind of see all those lines. That's changing topography. So basically Flat Hill Road is kind of the high point. Everything slopes down to the end of the lot. Then kind of going back up to Flat Hill Road, you kind of see that funny shaped hatched area. That's the existing house. And then right behind that is an existing well and cesspool. And as it's stated here, we're basically going to tear down the existing dwelling, construct a new single family residence, and then construct a new leach field and well. And then just in coordination with the Board of Health, might be easier if I do this. Um, they requested that this kind of area here is the new leach field just outside the 50-foot buffer, and then up near the road is the new well. So they requested the well and the septic be 100 feet apart. Just kind of orientates that. All this work is in previously degraded areas, basically all lawn area. No tree clearing is proposed. All work will be demarcated by erosion control area, and then we've just kind of filed this as a redevelopment since the lot was created in 1965. And that's kind of my story.
Okay. So I see you have a proposed two-bedroom dwelling.
Correct.
And is the square right there.
That's this right.
And
Yeah,
then,
this. I'll go to here. This is the new dwelling, the
and is that
rectangle. Yep.
behind it is the existing dwelling?
So the hatched area, that's it where it kind of says this area. If you can see my mouse moving, that's the
Yeah.
existing house, and this area is going to be the new house.
Okay. And then I don't see a call out for the riverfront.
So basically, the whole lot is basically all within the riverfront. So this area here, you kind of see where it says these letter. That's basically the high water mark of the river. Here's the 50-foot buffer to that. That's the 100-foot buffer, and then the riverfront actually goes. The 200-foot riverfront actually goes into Flat Hill Road.
Okay. So the proposed dwelling is outside of the 100-foot buffer, but
Correct.
entirely.
Correct. Yeah. Here's the
Okay.
100-foot buffer. So we're just out. The house is just outside the 100-foot buffer. Correct.
Okay. Um, do we have any questions for members of the commission? Oh, actually, I want to say, well, while out on site on a site walk on Sunday, there were quite a few trees taken down that we don't have any record of being permitted.
Nor do we.
So
Okay.
I have, let's see. I have some pictures that I want to throw up on the screen that I meant to. Just give me 1 second. While I'm doing this, do I have any questions for members of the commission? Oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna share my screen in 1 second.
Madam Chair, I'd like to say something.
Absolutely.
Just for the record, I don't believe this application was sent over to DEP. I just verified with them today, before I left work at 3:45, and they had no record of this application.
Yeah, and I don't see it. I would actually just checked and it's not on
So
the website.
the homeowner, I think the homeowner did the mailing, and I think our fear is that he sent the whole notice to the like the PO box where you submit your check to. So we're trying to find out where it actually was mailed to.
I'm gonna pull up my screen in a second with some pictures. All right, here. So
Oh,
I'm
I've
just
got
gonna
share.
take over your screen share for a moment.
Sure. Yeah. I'll stop. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, so I have All right, so here is a tree. This is the existing dwelling, which
Mansion.
is I'm guessing not inhabited right now.
Correct.
This is the street in front. The riverfront is the river's back there.
Yep.
Let me go to the next one. I love how. So here's some more trees that were taken down. This is the river right in this line right here. This is the back of the dwelling, and it looks like the proposed dwelling it would be kind of basically just starting at the end of this, and then a square rectangle like that is what it looked like from the drawing.
Correct.
This is
Second.
from the back corner, there's this I don't know, like a previous basement or something. I'm not really sure what
It's a
that is.
funny access into the basement.
Okay. And then again, this is the river over here. So now we're standing off, if you're looking at the house from the road, we're standing off kind of the back right of the, and then this is 923 Flat Hill, I believe, right there. That is in the background. Um, so this is a different point of view of the back of the property. Looking at the parcel, if you're looking from the street, the parcel to the left. Okay, this is a concrete pad that has some vegetation sitting on it that's behind the house. And then this is the river behind the house. And this is, I think, the view here is probably right from like right behind the house, Harlan. Because it looks like that little concrete area is right here that I'm seeing, I think.
Correct.
So this is the view of the back of the house. This is where that little concrete area that we were just looking at is. Now we're looking toward the street. And then there were any trees in any of these pictures that I missed that were cut down? No. Another picture of the river.
I think just the first two pictures had the trees cut down. Those pictures are actually flags. There's flags you can't really tell very much because of your screen share, but there's flags on those two last pictures that you showed.
Okay. So is that when you say there's flags on them, what does that mean?
The flagging, the delineation flagging, it must be the high water mark that he said.
Oh, okay. Wait, are you talking about these ones right here?
I
Where
can't
they're
see them on this picture, but they're corner to
Yeah.
corner, I think.
So there was one that was like beyond the parcel line into the next property, and then there was another one that's beyond the parcel line into the other property, and then there was one kind of halfway between those on the water that we saw when I was out there. We were wondering what those were, and there was also a bunch of flags for test pits out there.
Hmm.
Or that's what they were labeled. So another, picture of the water. Picture from behind. And then another picture going toward the water. So, I think that I forget how many trees I counted.
I think it's 4.
There's definitely more I think so, right, Harlan? Hold on, let me,
There's 4 in this picture. There's
yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4. And then in the next picture, it looks like there are either 3 or 4 as well. I think we
okay,
counted a total of 7 or 8 trees that were taken down.
yeah. I
So I
think that I
apologize.
had 8.
I didn't know any of this tree cutting occurred, so we'll get a tabulation and put these stumps on the plan.
Okay. Um, all right. Well, while we have the engineer representative here, do we have any questions for members of the commission who, Richard, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. So there's going to be no change or construction in the first 50-foot back from the property line?
Correct. The
50-foot.
from the wetland lines. So the 0 to 50 of the riverfront is being undisturbed. Correct.
Okay. And you said that Board of Health requested that the leach basin be outside of the 100-foot well radius?
Correct. Yep, that was their request as part of this. They're calling it a repair, but correct. That was their request.
Of their repair, okay. And do you have that correspondence that you can forward us?
I think so. I can try. Yep.
Okay.
I think it's in an email, but yeah.
Even if it's in an email, it's still in writing,
Yeah.
so or you can print that out.
Okay.
Just so we have it, so
Yep.
that because of course anything in the riverfront we should be trying to move as far back as possible. So if another board has requested that, we just
Yep.
would like to see it.
So the board has approved this plan, the Board of Health.
Okay. And I think I saw in your in the smaller view that you had the erosion protection marked at the 50-foot buffer.
Correct. Yep. I had a note for that. Correct.
Okay. Those were the 3 questions I had at this point, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
No,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you. Okay, do we have any other questions from members of the commission? Harlan, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this plan again. Is there a reason why the applicant is not putting the new construction right where the old construction was and bumping up the septic system?
I'm just more trying to meet our best match of trying to meet the front yard offset and balancing, leaving room for the well, leaving room for parking, and positioning the septic.
So what is the required offset for the front yard?
I apologize. I don't have that in front of me.
Um,
But there's also right now there's no the existing dwelling does not have a garage, so we had to position the house farther back so they could actually pull into the garage and then pull out.
I believe the zoning setback is on the plan, Madam Chair.
I don't.
And unfortunately, that wouldn't change the position of the leach field because it would still have to be outside of the 100-foot well radius.
I don't have that dimension.
I believe
I think
it's
it's more
40-foot
function of-
setback from the front.
I think it gets a more function of pulling in and out of the garage more than anything.
zoning, okay. Yeah, I do see. Okay. I see the line on the plan for the zoning setback with the house in it. But that. So even with the,
Oh, yeah.
I understand you're trying to get the garage to work, but even with the existing structure there, that would be grandfathered in as far as zoning goes, but that still doesn't change where the leach field would go.
Correct.
Do we have any other questions or comments from members of the commission? Okay, I mean, obviously we can't, do anything with this tonight. We can't, oh, Mike, you have your hand up.
Yes, Madam Chair. Will we address the tree removal at a later date?
Yeah, so what
Part
he
of this
said was
application?
he would put some mitigation in a plan. Is that the plan, Mr. Green?
We can. Yep.
Excellent.
which
Thank you
and
so
Harlan
much.
should be, oh, Harlan, you have your hand up.
Sorry, I would just I would like to advise the commission to issue a $300 fine for removal of trees without permit.
Okay. I think that that is fair. Um,
In lieu of the fine, can we plant a couple extra trees? Use the money wisely.
okay, so the trees that were cut down were pretty significant. I don't know what the actual caliber on them was, but so there's already going to be mitigation plantings at either, like a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio there. If you wanted to put in extra trees, they would have to be of the correct caliber for a mitigation. So I wouldn't be opposed to that if we wanted to add in a couple extra trees. That definitely is a property that could use more trees. There's not really any left at this point. Maybe down by the water, but that's just me. Do I have any comments or? Harlan?
I would advise the commission to maybe offer some replantings in lieu of the fees. It's for a notion of scales, the cost of trees in comparison to a $300 fine. Just I want Lars to take that into consideration.
Okay. All right. I will coordinate with the homeowner and get back to you guys on this.
Okay. Richard, you have your hand up.
Yeah, were any trees removed within the 50-foot buffer?
Nope.
Okay, were any trees removed within the 100-foot buffer? Because
I
it
don't
looks
believe-
like the existing house is outside of the 100-foot buffer.
Correct.
Okay, so none of the trees were removed from the 50 nor the 100.
I don't believe so.
I
Okay.
believe, was there 1 or 2 in the 100-foot, but they're all in the riverfront. Harlan, you had your hand raised?
Yeah, so there's a second picture, I believe, has trees in the 100-foot buffer. They're like exactly right on what the old retaining wall it was supposed to be. I'm trying to get to this on
I can
my.
share my screen if you want, because I still have all the pictures, all 800 tabs open. Okay, so let's see, I think were these the first ones? Maybe, did it close a couple of them? I feel like there was a couple like in this area.
That's like 150 feet away.
Yeah, that looks like it's outside the 100-foot buffer.
Yeah.
I think they're all in riverfront area, not 100-foot.
Okay. So, this right here. So those are outside the 100-foot.
Correct.
Okay. But they're all within the riverfront. Richard, you have your hand up.
So I guess my question is, do they need to file to remove trees from the outer riparian on a single family home? Like, I honestly can't remember anybody having filed for such an action before. Only for those that are within the 100-foot wetland buffer, but not the outer riparian zone.
Okay, I haven't seen this come up at all. But based on that brochure that we have and the just permitting process, it seemed to me that even within the 200-foot riverfront, that trees being cut down had to be permitted. But I am open to that not being the case. I'm going to pull up this brochure.
Yeah, I guess I would leave that to Harlan just to maybe review quick. But like I say, I've never, as far as charging a fine, I can't ever remember an instance where somebody was made to file for removing trees outside of the 100-foot riparian zone. Once it's outside of the 100-foot buffer.
Yeah. So it says a permit is required for many activities on this brochure. I can, maybe Harlan, you can look into this and see what's in the actual code. I was always under the impression that Riverfront still needed permitting for trees, but Harlan, you have your hand up.
So, yeah, sorry. I'm not, I don't have a mouse. I'm using the little toggle on my laptop, so it takes me a little bit. Um, I've always been under the impression, and I can verify this tonight after I go through the Wetlands Protection Act, but under WPA, if it's in riverfront area, it's regulated. So if it's 200 feet for riverfront area, they need a permit.
I don't think anything's disputing that. But I think it's more the point of it's incidental to construction. My apologies that it happened, and my apologies that the surveyors didn't show them on the plan. But as part of this construction, these trees would be removed for construction, for the installation of the house and septic.
And I think sorry, Madam Chair, I'm speaking out of turn. I think
Oh,
the
no,
problem is that
absolutely.
construction hasn't started. There's no permit issued yet.
I agreed. No, agreed. I did not happen,
Also,
and I can apologize for that.
also the trees that are removed are all in front of where the new construction would be. And I mean, maybe like one or two, I think would need to be removed to get stuff in and out. But some of those are very close to they're in front of the current structure. So I don't know that those would have had to be removed for new construction anyway. But that's something we would have discussed when we, were looking at the permitting. Because that would be called out on a plan.
As I said,
If indeed the riverfront applies to it, which I think it does. But sorry, what were you saying?
I'll get the stumps located, and we can issue an updated plan.
Okay. Do we have any other comments from members of the commission? Do we have any comments from members of the public? So I think we'd be looking to continue. Mr. Green, are you looking to come back on April 1st, or do you think you'll have everything together by then, or do you want to try maybe the next meeting?
I think maybe the next. I think, as I said, the homeowner mailed out the notice, and we're not sure where he mailed it, so we're trying to track that down.
Okay. So the next meeting would be the April 15th, 2026 meeting. And, if for any reason you are able to make it to the April 1st meeting, you could always, as long as you let us know before the agenda's put out or, the Monday before, then we could get you on that meeting. But, or if you can't make the April 15th meeting, just let us know
Okay.
and we can continue. But
Okay.
so it looks like
Awesome.
you'd be looking to continue to April 15th, 2026.
That's the goal.
Okay. Do I have a motion to continue to April 15th, 2026?
So moved.
Second,
Okay. Roll call vote, Mike LaRouche,
aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks.
Enjoy your night.
Have a good night. All right. Up next, pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 as amended in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a notice of intent by David Catralis and Carrie Dow Catralis for an addition and removal of stone patio at 189 Hemlock Drive. Do we have the applicant or a representative on the line?
David Controls here.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Ryan Proctor, Dillis and Roy, Madam Chair, also here, working with the applicant.
Okay, great. Do you have anything you'd like to share, Ryan?
Definitely. I'm gonna take a supporting role tonight. The owner's gonna give a little presentation on his project here, but I will share my screen and take you through the site plan.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right, so can everyone see the plan up on the screen right now?
Yes.
Great.
Want me to take it away?
Take it away.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's basically a three-parter. Part A is this porch right here. You can see it's 20 by 33. Part 2 is going to be the stone wall up top here, a retaining wall, new retaining wall, and part 3 will be the patio pavers and such right in here. So to start with, we'll start with the A, the big one first. It would come out from the house approximately 16 feet for a covered porch, be 4-season. It would also have a wraparound walkway deck, if you will, to a actual porch right here. And then another lower porch right here that would host a future hot tub. You want me to continue? You want to talk about each one as we go along? I don't know what, Madam Chairman.
You can continue with what you're.
Okay. So that's part A. Part B is the retaining wall. It's kind of goes with all this red that you see here. Right now I have multiple levels. They're trip hazards. It's not a it's a safety issue. We're all getting older, like we said earlier in the previous ones. We want to level this off. So my thought was if I was able to put a retaining wall here, that would be. I talked to Matt Proctor. It would have some planters built into it to soften the look from the water. All this area here would be taken. All the sand and stuff would be pushed back over to here to keep the same dirt within the on the property, and would be filled back in with basically grass, mostly grass, maybe some small shrubbery and stuff of that nature. And part C over here is the pavers. Right now I have issues with the water coming off my roof. I put new drainage in and stuff of that stuff to stop it, but there's a bunch of issues and stuff down here. I need to take all this up, possibly fix my foundation. I got to look at that when that happens. And I like to put some permeable pavers down here so we can have a sitting area. And the small rectangle that you see right here in front of these old stairs, this would all come down, would be a detached, open, just cover over a outdoor kitchen that would go here. I'm asking for the pavers and stuff would be approximately, I believe, Ryan, if you can correct me, 82 square feet over the 50, between the 30 and 50 mark.
Correct. Yep.
Correct. We would use the helical piles also to put up a covering that would be detached from the house, to cover up the kitchen area so I can cook out of the rain. I think that's it. Any questions? You guys want to start at part A?
Yeah, if I could just add 2 things to that, just to clarify a few things on the plan, just to augment what David was just talking about. So this red hatched area is the existing tiered, it's disjointed, but it's fieldstone patio that extends all the way from the house currently down towards where we're proposing the retaining wall, as well as out towards the existing shed. We're proposing to remove all of that infrastructure that's there. There's some wooden steps, as I mentioned, the fieldstone pavers. There's some tables and whatnot that we're intending to pull out of there and restore this area with grass. And then this red rectangle here is an existing deck off the house. And there is it's permeable, but there is some sort of structure above that extends all the way out to this retaining wall on this side of the house that we're also intending to remove as part of this project. So these areas indicated in red would be pulled off of the site.
Okay.
And that's all I have to add at this point.
Okay, so And the plantings at the water's edge here, are those proposed or are those existing?
These are proposed. There's a little bit of landscaping here. There's sort of a natural footpath that extends from this wall all the way down around to this existing carport here. So we're intending to just fill in and supplement that existing landscaping there. We do have a table of what we're intending to plant.
Okay. Okay, and then do we have any comments from DEP?
We do.
On
Oh, yes,
this?
thank you. I didn't mean to bring that up. There were
Okay.
two comments, both of which were relative to the floodplain elevation. So the first question was relative to how we determined it. And the floodplain elevation has been consistent with all other plans that we've permitted with your commission as of recent, but we had located the existing dam to determine that the flood elevation is 370.6. So this sort of boulder dashed line that exists along the waterfront is the floodplain elevation. And then the only work that we're proposing within that partially is just a little bit of this landscape area. Again, we're just filling in that existing kind of natural pathway. But with all our respect, we're not filling any of the floodplain. We're not changing any of the elevation storage associated with Hickory Hills Lake.
Okay. And then what was the other? You said there was two?
Yeah,
Or is
they
that-
were both. They were both. The first was how we determined it, and the second was relative to this disturbance and quantifying that, I believe. But we are not proposing to do any filling within the
Okay.
floodplain.
Okay, do we have any comments or questions from members of the commission? I look at my meeting notes. Okay, Mike, you have your hand up.
Yes, are you adding a retaining wall that wasn't there prior to this proposal?
Yes, that would be the idea. Right now, it's just a very steep slope, and I can't do anything with it. And I was trying to, I really want to, when I level everything off, I really want to keep the natural dirt area stuff on the property if possible. So I thought if I was able to put a retaining wall on it, I could push the dirt over and keep it there without having to get it trucked off somewhere else.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rich, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I was just kind of looking at this shed and deck and everything over the last couple of years. Has this work been permitted? The
Yes, it
trees
has.
taken down over the shed and the deck
Yes, it has.
by the Conservation Commission?
Yes.
Okay. And is it still an active permit? How was it filed?
Oh, I don't know if it's still, I don't know how it closes out. I thought that's a good question. I thought once it was all done, that it was all done. I know the building inspector signed off on it. I thought that was it. I'm not sure if there's anything else I had to do after the fact to close something out.
Okay.
Roughly when that permit was filed?
About a year ago, year and a half ago.
I'm not seeing anything in OpenGov, but that doesn't, I feel like the property sounds familiar, but that could also have been before my time. Okay, I have an RDA from December of 2023, which is before my time.
Okay.
And is that an OpenGov, Madam Chair?
No, it's in the SharePoint. So
In the
this one, I
SharePoint
have a
thing?
WPA form, It does not say on this one what the scope is. Let's see. There's a couple of the SharePoint, you know how that is. It's folders. Let me see what I can find here. Because there is a one from January of 2024 too. Scan checks, RDA. Back to the beginning. 189. All right, then we have something from, here's something that says landscaping details. So that sounds promising. All right, it looks like something Lakeview. Thank you for being with me to review your project here. I'll just share my screen so everybody can see it. Let's see.
Oh, I can stop sharing. I apologize.
Oh, no worries.
There you go.
Okay. Slightly larger stock. So, it looks like Lakeview was out, recommended some replacement.
Yep.
And then are the replacements planted?
I'm sorry.
Are the replacements in place now?
We started to do it, but what happened was actually it probably benefited everybody even more. Was once those trees came down, we didn't touch the area, and we have all kinds of trees growing again, all over the place. The bushes, we haven't done the bushes yet. We did some of the blueberries, but we didn't do all of them. I believe, was it Mary that was not on the call tonight?
Yes.
And her and another woman that came by on Saturday, she saw that there was a bunch of them already off to the side and stuff. But yeah, so we still have to plant some more, but because we want to do this other stuff, we held back a little bit to see, obviously to save money so we can put them in the right places so they will flourish, and I'm not just ripping them back up again and wasting, time, energy, and money on everything.
Okay. I think that I guess I would want to see these on a plan if we're here with the plan with plantings on it. Richard, do you still have your hand up or did you forget to put it down?
I just did not put it down. Sorry,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
No.
Are they, Ryan, are the bushes and stuff that we're talking about re-putting, are those on that plan that you had up earlier?
They are on the proposed plan. Madam Chair, I did find the minutes from the meeting back in 2024, and it looks like the commission had voted to issue a negative determination of applicability. I'm happy to share this too, but the last line of the minutes said that this was when Bob Pease was on the commission, said that it did not make sense to follow their usual tree replacement due to the crowding. So I know there is significant vegetation on the site. I was not
Okay.
involved with the project at that time, but it appears that this was before the commission as an RDA before. That answers
Okay.
your question.
All right, and that's the April 30th meeting that you're looking at?
This
Or
was
somewhere in that vicinity?
yes, May 1st, 2024 was the when they closed when you closed the hearing.
Okay. Well, the minutes, I assume, don't lie. So, okay.
Yep. No.
So do we have any other questions from members of the commission?
Yeah, Madam Chair, if you wouldn't mind just to show commissioners, or I can, just the substantial amount of canopy that's been removed without any replacement.
Sure, I don't mind.
Unfortunately, I was not part of the decision. I would have recused myself where my brother owns Lakeview Landscaping if he was presenting.
Okay. Yeah, let me get this up on. I'm going to use Google Earth because we don't have near map. So give me a second. Let me share my screen.
It was noted that you recused yourself, Rich, just to to confirm.
Yeah,
You're-
thank you, Matt. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm surprised that there's this much encroachment into the 50-foot no structure zone with a deck and a shed. And unfortunately, I can't see any patio from the 2023 Mass Mapper overheads.
I do have some
I
site photos
just
I could
forget
share
that I
after this
can
also.
look at Mass Mapper, but I like Google Earth because you get a really, you can go all the way back to 1985 sometimes. Although my screen share thing is in the way. Let's get that out of there.
Madam Chair, just for clarification, when we bought the house, the shed was already there. Just
Okay.
clarification.
Yeah, I did look at the sale listing. And all right, so right now we are in 3/2026, 7/2025, 8/2024, and then 5/2023. So that is a pretty significant change. And then I'm not going to keep going. Well, so the house was purchased in 2020, it looks like.
Correct.
Okay.
I brought in
These
two
are
separate
terrible.
arborists and stuff, and they both agreed. I think Ryan has the minutes on that they both agreed that those houses were a danger to safety and the structures themselves. That they were
Okay.
choking each other out, and there were a little amount of time that they would start coming down from obviously all this new all these storms with the high winds that we've been having. I'm sure some would have came down by now.
A lot of just by the water. That's basically all of the vegetation by the water.
A few of them were already beaver eaten.
Okay.
So they were dying already. So we know that you don't want the all that foliage and stuff to go into the lake because of the phosphorus and stuff. So those were included in the thing to take them down so they wouldn't go into the water for.
And they were those were on the plan of what was getting
Yes.
taken down?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It looks like the former agent Sophia had some photos of the beaver damage that she had shared. I don't know if those are in
Okay.
SharePoint, if that is critical.
Thanks.
But, yeah,
Going through SharePoint is not the most fun.
fair enough. I do have some
Thing in
site
the-
photos I could share of that patio. I think
Sure.
in a couple of those images that you saw on your screen, you could see it as well.
Sure. Your screen.
Okay. Bear with me. So this is the existing patio that we're proposing to remove. So it's field stone, it's jointed. It is pretty compacted in there, and then there's some timber retaining walls that step down, or very short steps. Some stone walls like this, and then this is looking the other way here, back toward the house. So this is the existing structure that you can see on back of the house, and then this canopy area here as well. But this patio extends all the way from the walkout here. There's some more of the steps there in the timber that we're proposing to remove. And that's the existing shed that we were just talking about also. And then you can see evidence of these stumps that are still there, and that was part of the negative determination to leave those stumps. And then this is all the existing landscaping that David was talking about a few minutes ago.
Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other questions or comments from members of the commission? Andrea, you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. I have a question. How much new construction is going into the 50-foot buffer?
All of it.
It would be approximately 16 feet from the house towards the water, and then an open deck after all. So to the side of it. And just a wrap around so you can walk around the house. Yeah. It'd be all open except for the 16 foot to the water from the house.
So
And then it's,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
okay, there's already existing, so it's not 16 feet total. It's how much is it from the existing? That's there? It's not 16 feet from the existing. It doesn't look like, does it?
I will get you that number, I'm sure.
Do you know how much you're removing, did you say, from the areas that are closer to the water?
So the patio, the pictures of the patio I was just sharing, we're moving about 710 square feet of that patio. And then the square footage of the building or deck and building combo is about 630 square feet.
Okay. Hold on, can you pull up the plan again?
Oh, yes. Let me
Thank you.
stop and reshare.
And then what was the plan for runoff? Because this is a covered, an enclosed porch, right?
So yeah, a
Obviously.
portion of it is. David and I talked about this on site. We think there's room within the existing
Sure.
grass area. It's not depicted on this plan, but there is space, we believe, for a subsurface system, whether it be Caltex or a roof recharge trench or something like that. We think we can accommodate that on site here.
Okay. It looks like a portion of this is going into the 30 foot.
There is a small portion. This is the that walkway or the wraparound for the enclosed porch there.
And then everything else is permeable,
Correct.
other than this enclosed porch. And when you say the walkway for the wraparound, is that a walkway?
So it's
Oh,
it's an elevated. It'll be cantilevered off of the structure itself, which will be supported by the helical piles, and
Okay.
yeah, exactly. And so that'll
Is
be
that going to be
elevated.
slatted or impermeable? Is that an exterior walkway you said?
Yes.
Exterior, correct.
Okay, and is that slatted?
I believe so. David, is that right?
I'm sorry, is it what?
Slatted? So will it be like
Yes,
slat?
yes, slatted, definitely slatted, yes, yes.
Do I have any other questions for members of the commission?
If it would please the commission, I do have that Freight Logic makeshift garage that's over there that was there when I bought it. If you'd like, yes, thank you, Brian. I'd be willing to get rid of that, and I could plant some more of those. After you show me that picture of all that coverage and stuff that got taken down because of that, I think because it's there, I don't know what's underneath it, but possibly I might be able to put some more bigger trees and stuff back here that could grow and help again with that cover for the water that I believe was it Michael or someone that was questioning that stuff with the amount of coverage that came down.
Okay. And so is that, obviously that's a covered carport, right? So
Correct.
that's an impermeable area. And is it like a tent or is it
It's like a tent, correct?
okay.
Like a tarp over metal.
Okay. And then is it on like a concrete slab or?
No, it's all open to the ground.
Okay. But you would be willing to add vegetation there?
Correct.
Okay. Harlan, do you have anything you'd like to add? I see your notes.
189. No, it honestly, there was a lot of snow when I went out there. I had gone out there a few months ago and met with the property owner and kind of discussed what he was going to do. And then when the engineer Ryan applied for this, I gave him some notes, some feedback, and he provided the construction sequence and staging and then native species plantings. So that's all my concerns were.
Okay. Richard, you have your hands up. Your hand. not
I
hands.
did. I had a couple quick questions. I'm viewing the plan that was submitted, and it looks like we've made a revision to it, Matt. The one that I'm looking at that was presented had a stamped concrete patio, and now you have a proposed permeable
That's
patio.
correct. That was we changed that from Herwin's suggestions.
Okay.
So we decided to go with the permeable pavers instead.
Okay.
That was in this
Is-
area right here, Rich, was that?
Yep. Yeah, the one that was presented, and that's the one I'm looking at on another
Okay.
screen because I can manipulate it. It says it's concrete. Is that the only change that you have made?
That was the only change, yeah, since we submitted. Yep.
Okay. The next question I had, is there a reason that we can't keep the walkway off of the deck outside of the 30-foot no-touch zone? Because it looks like a corner of the deck is currently outside of the 30-foot no-touch zone.
Yeah. That is.
So you're talking about the
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a retaining wall. I thought it was a walkway.
Oh.
And are we going to change the grade when we put that stone wall in? Behind the stone wall?
Up here, Rich?
Yep,
you're
that one
talking?
there. Yep.
Yeah, so this is going to come up a little bit.
Okay, so
this-
we're putting that wall in to change the grade in the 30-foot no-touch zone.
it
That's
would
what we're
match-
proposing. Yeah.
Okay. The next question, the proposed enclosed porch, is that going to be on top of the deck?
It'd be on it'd be on the ground over the around the pavers would be going around the helical tubes holding up the structure.
Okay, so we're going to have the enclosed porch is going to be underneath
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
deck?
I'm sorry, the enclosed porch or the by the pavers?
Yes, proposed enclosed porch.
I'm sorry, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Is
It would
that
be
porch
elevated.
on top of the deck?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you're looking to put the pavers in underneath the proposed deck.
No, the pavers would go to the right.
Okay.
Um,
So what are you going to do with the area underneath
Underneath?
the proposed deck?
my thought was if we agreed to this and I take away the Freight Logic tarp carport, as you guys call it, I'd probably enclose the bottom and put down some crushed rock and use that as storage.
Okay. How high up is the deck going to be off the ground?
I believe it's only 7 or 8 feet.
Okay, so it's underneath, you can walk underneath.
Correct. Yes, I'm short
Okay.
too. That helps.
Yeah, it would match the elevation more or less, Rich, of what's out there right now.
And the proposed hot tub is going to be on the deck?
It would on a lower part. We're going to be like a 2-tier deck. The second deck would be a little bit lower, approximately 3.5 to 4 feet off the ground.
Okay. And the deck is going to be just
Open.
what is the construction of the deck? It's not going to be a solid floor.
No, it's going to be the Trex type of stuff,
Okay.
material.
Okay, so you're looking to remove, what was it, 700 or 800 feet of the fieldstone?
Yeah, about 700 feet.
My thought
Okay.
was to
You're
use,
looking to add back in, looks like 300 feet of permeable pavement or permeable paver patio blocks.
Correct. Yep.
already
And
there.
then the red squared area is going to be a rooftop. Was that correct?
This is
The
the
deck?
existing deck, which we are proposing
Okay,
to
so
remove
that is coming out.
coming out. Correct.
Okay.
And Michael, I was thinking of using some of those flat rocks, if you will, over in front of the by the wall and stuff, again, to keep it so for drainage purposes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and so I think from myself, my opinion, if the carport went away, if the fieldstone patio went away, we put back in the permeable pavers, the elevated deck. The only thing I would not be in favor of is enclosing the porch on the elevated deck. And then I would not be in favor of the wall and the filling inside the 30-foot no touch. And some proposed plantings to recapture some of that canopy that we've lost would be my suggestion.
Okay,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
thank you, Richard. I just noticed that there's quite a few applications on this property. There's another RDA and what's the date on this one? Wait, this one was modified. I had one sitting here. It looked like it said it was 2025. Huh. Water list. Let me make sure I'm looking at covering all my bases. Okay. Okay. So Rich, you were not in favor of the retaining wall changing the grade. You're not in favor of covering the porch.
Correct.
Do we have any other
And
does anyone-
removing the offer to remove the carport to allow for the deck to cantilever out to the edge of
Yes.
the 30-foot no touch zone.
Yeah. Do we have any other comments from members of the commission? Mike, what do you think about the retaining wall changing the grade?
Well, because there was never a retaining wall to begin with, and it's in the 30, I concur with Rich that it probably shouldn't be there because we're setting a precedent, correct, by adding a wall that never had a wall. And I think usually that's what we generally do. We
Yeah.
don't add wall where there were no walls prior to.
Yep. Okay, and then
But I concur with Rich with all the other
Right.
suggestions he has on this project.
okay, great. Andrea, do you agree with some of the stuff that Rich said? Do you have any thoughts otherwise?
No, I mean, pretty much what Rich says makes sense to me.
Okay. I also agree with Rich. We just had an application here that wanted to add a wall in the 30-foot, and we did say that they couldn't, so, and we really don't even have the authority to do that, and then also as far as the porch being enclosed where it's not right now, that does make sense. But then removing the carport and also there was an offer of putting plantings there in order to cantilever out. But with a permeable, Rich, were you saying cantilever out to the current area that they're cantilevering out, it's okay that they would be going over the 30 foot, but it's a permeable surface?
Well, I think they're proposing footings in the
Yeah.
50-foot no structure, and it looks like they're right on the line at the 30-foot.
Yeah, but there is like a small area that goes over the 30 foot, right at the edge of where it's proposed and enclosed. They have that walkway that's going around. And it looks like the enclosed porch gets right to the 30 foot, and then this walkway, a piece of it goes over the 30 foot, but it is
Oh, I do
it's
see that. So that is a walkway coming down?
it's
No,
going
so
around.
this is the elevated at the elevation of the porch that wraps around there.
Okay, so that's going to be at the deck elevation.
That's right.
Okay, it's not in contact with the ground, so the closest point is going to be that left-hand corner.
Yeah, this helical
Post.
pile is the most.
Yep.
Is the closest to the water.
Yep.
In terms of ground disturbance.
Yeah, so the elevated part I have no problem with. And we're not taking any trees down to put it in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then okay. So did I miss something? I don't think I did. Okay, so it looks like from what I'm hearing from the commission, we would want to see an updated plan with the patio not being enclosed.
Okay.
No retaining wall.
Okay.
The carport removed with plantings. And was there one other thing that I'm missing? You
Yeah,
have your
right here, the pavers, the paver and the ability to put up just a covering.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I'm sorry.
What was it?
With an outdoor kitchen right in here, and having
So that's the permeable
having a-
paver patio
I'm sorry.
right here, the permeable paver patio.
Yes, and there'd be an outdoor kitchen with a cover over the top of it.
Oh,
And
so that would be
that would
covered.
all be within the 50.
As long
Okay.
as it's outside.
And that is
Outside the 50. Outside the 50.
Yeah, as long as it's outside the 50.
okay. So you'd be bringing that back, or bringing the covered area back outside the 50. Because some of this, there's a pretty good portion of this that's between the 50 and the 30.
Yeah, we'll depict that on the revised plan, Madam Chair, that shows that covering. It's not depicted on this plan right now, but we will show that outside of the 50.
Okay.
And I have one other quick question to ask you, Madam Chair. Right now there is a wall here, this red line. I don't know if you can see it on my cursor.
We can't, David.
Oh, you can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
The hash marks and stuff, the red hash marks closest to the planned or want to be, yeah, right there. Yep, that wall. There's a small mini wall there. Right now that's all coming apart because of the railroad ties. Can I put a wall, since you said that there was already one there? I can't put a wall there though.
If there is an existing wall there, we would, typically let there be one in the same footprint.
Okay.
There. And we don't, myself, I don't love railroad ties near the water. So, that would be to me an upgrade if you were to use better materials than railroad ties.
Alrighty.
So I guess the only question would be, if you're pulling out all of the patio and replacing it with loam and seed, why wouldn't you just go back to the natural grade? Why would you need the wall?
That's what I'm saying. Where am I going to put all that dirt? I have to find a place to put that dirt now. I don't have that. That's why I wanted the retaining wall there, so I could push the dirt, because it's all raised. Everything, all that slashed head red marks is all raised dirt, and I have to find a place to push that to level it off to the rest of the current.
I think, I have a visual because I did see that
Front
there's,
yard. Should I say?
Yeah, I guess I'd need to see a picture of it because it's, I mean, the way that the grading lines are marked in there, it looks like it's just a natural grade from a flat coming down. It doesn't really
Ryan,
depict
do you
as
have
a
that picture
raised
that you had
area.
Ryan,
before?
I'm gonna
I'd-
take over if you don't
Oh
mind.
yeah, glad, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Rich, it was frankly it was winter time when we surveyed it. So the contours are probably not exact in that area. But hopefully these pictures will clarify here
Okay, so, um, I swear, Zoom just like wants to be wherever I want to be.
every time.
Okay. Go back here and just so we don't have to go through all of the pictures. There's a good amount of pictures of the back area of this house. That's the front. So this is the porch that's existing right now. And then this is another view we can kind of go into. And this is where the proposed cooking area is what it looks like to me.
At the bottom of those stairs that you just had the picture on.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the proposed cooking area is like here. It looks like, and maybe the hot tub is in this area.
Nope, the hot tub is going to be further to the right. Yep,
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
on the other side of the stairs.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so it's over here?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. And then is this like a walkway going down to,
That was the
Where?
side of the house before.
okay, so this is the shed. This was there in 2020.
Correct.
Are these some of the trees that came down?
Yes.
They look so healthy. Okay, so this is a wall that's
Correct.
existing.
That's gone now, but yes, that was there originally.
Okay. Was there an application to take that down?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so and then is this,
that was all redone to one wall.
okay. So this seems familiar, I feel like. Now when you say it was redone to one wall, is it one wall going this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah,
right
this-
where those
yeah.
chairs are is where
Yeah,
the
that wall is shown on our plan. It basically took out the it basically brought everything down to that lower elevation and held the
Okay.
held the footprint of that back portion of the wall behind those chairs.
Okay, so right here.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then there was
It's
another,
on now.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't come up, no.
I had one picture that showed over here on the, but I guess it's not here. I imagined it in my head. Okay. Yeah, we can't see where we're talking is over here, right? Like off the
correct. Yes.
picture.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess I don't have a picture of it.
The patio steps up. It looks like there's one or two railroad ties. It steps up like 8 inches to 12 inches, and then that's where the fieldstone pavers are sitting. So that I think that's the material that Dave is referring to.
Okay. Okay. Can you bring the plan up one more time, Ryan?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yep. No problem.
Okay.
This is
Do we
this is
have
that
any
existing wall there. Yep.
comments from members of the public? John Fortune, you have your hand up.
Yes, I do. And I'm unmuted this time. This is good. I think Ryan said earlier that the high water mark was at the 370 foot space, or that's where the water goes up to when the water is full in the lake. There was some reference to that 370. I just wanted to understand what that was.
Floodplain, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's the 100-year flood elevation, and everyone we've ever told that has said the water's never been that high ever. But that's what we measured off the dam, the new dam.
Okay, so that's a 100-foot flood elevation. Okay, because I just wanted to make sure. It looks like some of it, I was thinking it was a 370 mark. And the reason I asked that is Hickory Hills Landowners owns 1 foot above the high water mark. all around the lake. And so if we get to the area that is the deck behind the shed or whatever, we are getting close to there, if that's the high water mark. But I'll confirm that. I'm sure these folks will come to Hickory Hills as well, and we can discuss it during that time.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. And then the second thing I had would just be I also would not would prefer not to have covers over these patios unless there was something for drainage, so the drainage just doesn't wash into the lake. It gets picked up somewhere else, that's all. But I think you've already discussed that, and I think that's probably the way the commissioner's going anyways. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thanks. You know, where the carport would be taken out. What is the square footage of the carport?
It's 176 square feet.
Okay. And then, okay. Do we have any other questions from or comments from members of the public?
Yes, I'm trying to
Bill
raise
Hudson.
my hand.
Yep.
Yes. I also concur with the retaining wall that comes off the deck of the shed. As that part of that area appears to have been filled in prior or after the deck was put on, a little based on pictures that I have.
Do you want to share those pictures or?
I don't know how.
Oh, okay.
My suggestion would be to take another site walk, because
Okay.
now you can actually get down and look to see how that contour goes there right in the front where they're proposing new planting and that particular stone, that particular wall.
Okay. All right. I appreciate the comments. Is that? Oh, yeah, or you did one?
Just one other one. The walkway to the proposed porch, what is the ground like?
Walkway. Oh, on the
Is it
left
on the
hand
side here?
Yeah. Yeah, is it gonna be concrete? Is it just gonna be stone?
It's going to be Trex, all elevated. Up towards the closest to the house is only going to be a foot off the ground, and then it slowly gets higher as it goes around the house, around the.
Okay. Okay, so a deck all the way.
But
yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Harlan, you have your hand up.
Sorry, it was just for the record if the public commenters can just state their names.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Bill Hudson, would you mind just stating your name and address after the
Sure.
fact?
William Hudson, 90 Hemlock Drive. I'm also the land resource chair for the board for the Hickory Hills Association.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for keeping me honest there, Harlan. I also missed the one before that, but Richard, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Hey, the pictures you were showing from the Zillow listing, and you were talking about this lower seating area and the stairs, and then I heard somebody say that those were all gone. Is that correct? That there's a stone wall there now?
And that we had permitted a wall there?
Correct.
So how old is this picture that shows the railroad ties and the stairs?
That was when house got put on Zillow probably in 2020.
Okay, so this is a 5-year-old picture, so all of that is gone. Do you remember when you filed for the wall?
And so I don't see, I mean, I feel like that would have been an NOI. I don't see that in OpenGov for sure. I can only find the RDA in the SharePoint.
Madam Chair, I have a terrible habit of watching all the meetings that are posted on the Ed Lunenburg Access YouTube page. It takes a lot of my time, but I remember I watched the meeting where Matt Proctor was here representing the applicant, presenting the replacement of that retaining wall. I do not have
Yes.
that off the top of my head, but I will look to track that down before
It
the next
feels
hearing.
very familiar. Like I
Yeah.
remember actually looking at the way the wall, like there was stone and then there was the railroad tie
Yep.
kind of near each other. That it feels very familiar. I just can't find it.
Okay, I will
Rich, you
poke
have
around
your
for
hand
that too. I know it was discussed at a public meeting at one point. So
up. Okay. Rich, you have your hand up?
That was from my original question. Sorry about that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Do we have any other comments from members of the commission? Questions, members of the public? Okay. Okay, so we were looking to not enclose the porch. Pull back the cover of the patio. And remove the retaining wall that is closer to the water, but put possibly a retaining wall in place of the existing retaining wall.
okay. Yep.
You know, remove the carport. And then it sounds like maybe there may be interest in going out and doing another site walk before the next meeting. So with all of that, Ryan, and am I missing anything? Does anyone want to pipe in here? With all of that, would you be looking to continue to the next meeting, Ryan?
Yeah, I think that would be good. And then if it would be possible to keep me in the loop, if we could set up a site visit, I don't know if you could do it during the week or if we have to do it on the Saturday before the meeting, but I would like to attend if that's all right. And hopefully we can get everyone out there and all look at it together.
Okay, typically, I work, so
Yeah.
typically we do site walks on the Saturday before a meeting. I will figure out if maybe it's possible that we could do something like toward the end of a workday,
Okay. That'd
or
be
the
great if
beginning.
possible.
Yeah.
Sure.
And well, yeah, I'll be in touch by beginning of next week.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
That would be before the Saturday.
Yep.
Okay, does anyone have anything else they'd like to add before I ask for a motion to continue? Okay, then I'd be looking for a motion to continue to the next meeting, which is April 1st, 2026.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Thank you. Okay, roll call vote. Mike LaRouche.
Second.
I got you, Mike.
Aye.
Okay. Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself. We will see you April 1st, and I'll be in touch about site walks.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Have a great night.
You too. Okay, continued public hearings. Okay, pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, we have a continued public hearing at 763 Northfield Road by the Lunenburg DPW for the replacement of a deteriorated culvert. I am not seeing the applicant or an engineer. It looks like, Harlan, do you have your hand raised? They asked to continue.
Yes. Yeah, they asked a continuance, but are non-responsive to 3 PO delivery attempts.
Okay. This is so they asked for a continuance to today, right? But they're not responding to what?
The abutter, they need, so DPW
Oh,
needs the
yes.
permission of the abutters to
Yeah.
do the work. And the abutter has been non-responsive, but I guess DPW reached out to them and they will review and sign everything, but they haven't received anything back. So they would like a continuance to April 1st.
Okay. All right. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll be looking for a motion to continue to April 1st, 2026.
So moved.
So moved.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, wait, it sounded like Rich moved and seconded.
No, that
Mike,
was
did you-
my,
All right, Mike, you had the motion? Rich had the second?
I,
Uh-oh. I think
and I
you said
believe
you,
Rich had a second.
okay, all right, roll call vote, Mike LaRouche. Was there an aye there? You're breaking up a little.
Who are you asking, Madam Chair?
Do we have an aye for the continuation? I'm on a roll call vote. So is that you, Mike? Mike LaRouche.
I say aye.
Okay. Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnap,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay. Up next we have pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a notice of intent by Safe Store Real Estate at 30 Summer Street for a project that involves floodplain fill and associated compensatory floodplain compensation. Do we have the applicant or representative on the call? It doesn't look like we do. Did they ask for a continuance, Harlan? Because I know it's Greg and he's usually very good about that. Let's see if maybe there's one in OpenGov.
I thought Greg spoke on this last time we met and that he would be here today, but I haven't heard anything. I actually
I
saw him
trust your
today, but-
memory more than I trust mine. Sometimes he put something in OpenGov, like day of. Let me check my.
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to continue until April 1st, 2026.
Okay. Do I have a
Second?
second? All right, roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye. Aye.
Andrea Burnap,
Aye.
and I for myself continue to April 1st, 2026. Okay. All right. And then so that is all of the hearings for today. The one that's crossed out, I don't have to open that. Right here on this is new, the crossing out. Does that mean
you don't have to open it because you continued to April
The April
1st during the
Okay.
last meeting.
Okay. All right, on to administrative determinations. We have an administrative determination for 100 Hemlock Road, CAD-26-3. And we have our agent here and we do have notes from the agent. Do you want me to read the notes, Herlin, or do you want to just give us your synopsis of this?
Completely up to you.
Okay, I'll read the notes, because they're good. All right. During the inspection, 4 trees were observed to be dead or in advanced decline, exhibiting no live canopy and significant dead branching. I'm also going to open up the OpenGov actually, and I can share my screen. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen and then I will read the notes. Okay. All right, so trees are located directly along the path used to access the lake and could pose a potential safety hazard to residents utilizing the access route. The applicant is proposing to remove the 4 dead trees while leaving the stumps in place to minimize disturbance to the slope and surrounding soils. No additional clearing or grading is proposed based on site conditions, slope, and surrounding soils. Based on site conditions, I know how to read. Observed, the work appears limited in scope and leaving the steps in place should help maintain slope stability and minimize impacts within the buffer zone. Would not recommend tree replacement as the surrounding area contains numerous healthy mature trees, providing adequate canopy cover and bank stabilization. So, we have this picture of the site. So this is the parcel. And then is this the walkway right here? Or, because it looks like this is this is the lake right here, right?
That's a very bad angle of the picture. Do you have the pictures from my sidewalk?
I do.
Those are better. There's like
Okay.
ground pictures too of that.
Okay, so I have this. It appears to be pictures of the trees in question, or at least one, two. It's these three
Just
at least,
one.
right?
I
Oh,
think
just
it's
this
just
one
the
right
one in
here?
the middle, yeah.
Okay. And then,
Oh, those aren't
um,
my site pictures. I'm sorry. Those are the pictures the
oh, these
applicant
are
submitted. Yeah,
okay.
that's a paper birch. That's not doing too good. But if you go down to my actual
Yeah,
site pictures,
here we go. All right. So it looks like is it this one? Is one of them? Is that a birch?
um, that one, it looks like it. Nope,
No.
that's not a birch tree.
Okay. So is this one of them?
Yes, it's two trees, but it's one stump at the bottom.
Yeah.
And Bill Hudson is here too, who was on site with me. There's that tree there that you can see.
And this is the same tree that we were just looking
It's
at,
the
right?
same tree up.
And
You can
it's
kind
definitely not a birch.
of,
It's very tall, but
it didn't look like there's a paper birch in the back. You can see it.
and this is what we were just looking at,
Yes.
basically. And that's
So
one. And
there's a little parking area there. You can pull in, kind of park, and then access the waterway. And then these trees are kind of like in that path.
okay.
So if you go back to the last picture you showed, you can so this is like the clearing where you come in and park,
Okay.
and then you can walk through. So like do you see the access way? It's kind of like right
Right here.
there. Yes.
Yeah. Is it in between these two trees or is it to the side over
I
here?
believe it's in between those two trees, and Bill can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Is it in between these two trees right here?
S- I believe that if you go back that other picture, it's
Hold on,
the
I have to
one,
move.
I think it
the
is the
Zoom
one
stuff.
in the center.
Hello?
Yeah, so it is now this one is the parking lot, and there's two trees there. There's the one dead oak, and then the white one next to it is a pine. And if you go in, you can see that there's large woodpecker holes about 20 feet up right there.
Okay.
And
Like in, okay.
and there's the top of the other one you can see on the
It's right here.
in the middle there. Yeah, to be taken down.
Okay.
And then the birch. So total of 4.
Okay.
So over where the birch is, there is a walkway down to a dock. That there's a number of children there, and that one you could probably push over. The other one is that we had permission to put in a couple of docks down there so people off lake would have a place to put their boat. So there's 2 docks down there that have a total of 4 party boats on them in the summertime. And that tree would basically take out at least probably 1, 2 boats and the dock if it was to go. So
Okay.
if you're not aware, so last week during that heavy windstorm, we lost a pine over on Peninsula Drive that came down and hit a house.
Okay.
And I think going forward, you're going to see a lot of requests for the pines that are down here because they're all the same age and, you know, they're starting to get rot inside and stuff, but that's another thing.
Thank you. Do I have any questions from members of the commission? I see. I would love to see maybe, I know there's a great canopy there, but I would love to see maybe some understory plantings put in that area, just because, you know, some smaller stuff, just because there is everything there is kind of looks like it's the same age for the most part. And look at the pictures again. Richard, you have your hand up. I'm gonna pull up these pictures again.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, it was just a little more of a comment. If in the future, if we can perhaps have a red ribbon or something tied around the trees that we're talking about in the pictures so that we can determine it with a little more specificity. And the
Okay.
second thing would be some sort of diagram showing the location of the trees in proximity to the wetland buffer, because it does come down to anything within the 30-foot no touch zone is required under our regulations to have replacements.
Yep.
So without having the exact determination of their how far they are from the wetlands, we can't determine if they are required under our regulations to have replacements. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Richard. I think we can safely say that they are all within the 30-foot, it looks like. Is that, do you have your hand up, Bill?
Yes, so the large pine tree is definitely within the 30 feet. The two that are by the parking area are not.
Okay.
And the birch tree is outside the 30, but there's I'm going to call it a tributary. It's takes the runoff from across the street
Okay.
now and then. Second to that, we do not have a problem adding some vegetation there. We have a gentleman that has a bunch of trees already potted that he's offered. But there is some undergrowth down there. There is some
Okay.
mountain laurel, a little bit of mountain laurel, some low bushes and stuff.
Okay. Because I was actually going to suggest maybe like some mountain laurel or I was looking through the pictures. I didn't see a ton. I think it would be helpful for the area just in general. And you know, obviously there's not a lot of room there for, you know, big trees, but it would be good for the area to throw in some understory. You have your hand up again?
Yeah, one
Yeah.
quick comment. There was yellow caution tape wrapped around some of the trees. So my question to Richard would be, how high would you like the ribbon to be? As high as it would be visible in the picture?
So I guess it was just more of a recommendation
Yeah.
moving forward for determinations. I mean, we were looking at pictures. I couldn't see any yellow ribbon on there.
Yeah.
Just so we can determine when we're given a picture with 30 trees in the
Yeah.
winter time, that it's hard to tell which tree we're talking about. That's
Understood.
all. And yeah, and not necessarily for you, Bill, but just in the future
Yeah.
before we get to this stage.
Yes, in general, I understand. Yep.
Yep.
Thanks, Rich. Do we have any other questions or comments from members of the commission?
I did have one other quick question for Herlin, where this is an agent's determination. Technically, we're supposed to just be ratifying her determination, as
Okay.
it is a minor incursion that doesn't require an RDA, that the agent can make that determination without having to go through either an RDA or an NOI. So I would like to just hear her thoughts on it and why she determined that the 4 trees are able to come out without any filings.
Okay. Well, I did
And then
read
again,
her, yeah, her notes. Herlin, do you have anything to add?
But
And-
she does agree that they should come out and then we should just be ratifying her decision to take them out.
Yeah.
I don't know if we necessarily have to go through a whole hearing process
Okay.
as we are,
Okay.
just in the, to try to work within our time constraints.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Rich. So I guess on that, Phil, you have your hand up.
Yeah, one more. And we would not be removing the stumps. We will just cut them down and leave all the rooting system in place.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Harlan, you have your hand up.
Yeah, this was just a comment. I think it's always appropriate to bring these matters in front of the commission, and I know that it shouldn't be really an open hearing, but I feel more comfortable until I find my footings and feel comfortable with the topo and the rules and regulations. I would prefer the commission listen to these CADs in this matter. I know that we have really dense agendas, but we're just pushing through things that are coming through. And I would like some grace until that time is, until I feel extra comfortable with making determinations and then just presenting them to you guys.
I totally appreciate that. Thank you, Harlan. That makes sense for sure. Okay. All right. Well, I think that obviously I think we agree with your determination, Harlan. So I think we vote on this, right? Now I'm all confused.
Yeah, you have to
Yes,
ratify
we
the
would still have to
decision.
vote to
Yes.
ratify her decision.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the administrator's determination?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
Harlan, did your hand up?
Yes. Are we going to require the applicant to put in some understory? Because I can then put together a plan. So just make sure you add that to your conditions.
Okay. I mean, I would love to see that for myself, but I don't want to make that decision for the commission. Does the commission have any thoughts about that? Maybe like Andrea?
Yes, I would like to also see that. And
Okay.
I did look into this a little bit as far as how many replacements for a certain size of tree. It's one replacement for a tree of less than 8 inches, 2 for trees between 8 and 20. And I think that probably covers everything in this case.
Yeah. And I think
And
that where there's so much canopy and so much tree density there, I don't think that we could do that for understories, say like 2 bound laurels or 2, bushes as they see, like, blueberries or something as they see fit. Richard, you have your hand up.
Yeah, and I was going to just add to Andrea's comment that I think that's for trees removed within the 30-foot no-touch zone. And given the density, we just want to be selective on the recommendations of variety and location of any understory.
Yep.
Is to just try to put a few things in under the dense canopy. Will be hard to dig them in. There'll be very little water falling through the canopy and very little sunlight. So I just hate to put plants in for plants' sake. So we just want to be very specific while Harlan's out there with variety and location so that the plants that we do recommend do have the best chance of survival.
Okay. Thank you, Rich. Okay. So I think that maybe Harlan, if you wouldn't mind working with the applicant, I think that mountain laurel would definitely be a good choice there. But Mike, what do you think about throwing in some understory plantings?
I think it's a great idea as long as we follow Richard's lead about making sure whatever plant we do decide to put in there, it has a chance of survival. And otherwise, it's a moot point. And I defer to Rich's expertise, who knows a lot about plants.
He sure does.
So I want to go with his lead.
Okay. All right. I guess, Harlan, so I guess what I would say is if you feel like it makes sense and there's some understory trees or shrubs that would work in that area, then I would love to see some put in. But if we don't think that it's a possibility or they won't do well there, then we won't do that. So then on that note, I'm gonna look for a motion to approve the conservation administrator's determination or agent, actually. Do I have a motion? Do I not have a motion?
Didn't we
Okay.
just approve it, Madam Chair?
I think
We didn't
I
end
think
up
we just
voting.
did. And I think
Oh, okay.
We did not finish the vote, so I have a motion from Mike.
I think the motion was from Rich and I seconded.
Yeah, I motioned, Mike
Okay.
seconded, and now it's roll call vote.
Okay. Mike,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
and I for myself. All right. Thank you so much. Bill, and this was approved, so have a good night.
Thanks, Bill.
I'm gonna mute him because I'm hearing some feedback. Okay. Up next we have violations. I don't 1147. Harlan sent out a notice for 48 Meadow Lane, sent out another notice for 1147 Mass Ave, but they ended up coming in. 314 Highland Street, a notice went out. Harlan spoke to the property owner, and like I said, the property owner would be here tonight.
He just texted me that it was getting very late for him, so he was asking if he can come back on April 1st. I
Okay.
did let him know that things might be just as long on April 1st, but he asked
Yeah,
if
I
he
know we
could
have a
please.
ton on April 1st.
So he
Um,
did ask if he could still be moved forward, but he's been in contact with me. We've been talking. I think we can briefly discuss it without him being here.
okay. So I
And
know that
then
oh, sorry, you go.
it's okay. I know that. So he called in after he received the notice stating that he had paved his driveway and he wasn't aware of the buffer zones. So I explained to him that under the Wetlands Protection Act, there are buffer zones that are jurisdictional to conservation, and in order to do certain activities in those areas, you need permits. And he was amicable to that and open to seeing what the commission would require of him. I told him there was a possibility that violations could be issued or remediation could be required. And basically that was it. So I think that we should continue it to April 1st, and hopefully he can stay on a little longer.
Okay. Yeah, because this one, there's a significant amount of removal on this property. So, I really, and this has been going on for a while now. I want to say this has been going on since like September of last year,
Mhm.
and they've been non-responsive. So, I really want to get this handled. Richard, you have your hand up?
Yeah, which address are we talking, Madam Chair?
Oh, so this is 314 Highland Street.
Okay,
If
thank
you
you.
want to pull up Mass Mapper. Is it Mass Mapper? Yeah. You can look at the aerials if you want a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Context. I do see we have Corey Dalgatralis on with their hand raised.
Yes, sorry about that. I got kicked off earlier. I believe Ryan reached out to us and said that he'll be talking to you later on. I just want to let you know I didn't leave you on purpose.
Okay, yeah, no worries at all. Thank you
Okay,
for letting us know.
thank you, and hopefully I'll be talking to you sooner than later again.
Yes. All right. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay, so that's for 314. Please let them know that we really need them to be here on April 1st. At least that's how I feel about that, because we've been waiting now for 6 months
Yes, I
for them
will
to come
definitely
here.
let them know. Yep.
So, and we could issue a formal warning right now without them here, right? Says it is my recommendation that the commission issue a formal warning to the property owner, a $300 fine. Okay, no, they're not here, so we don't want to do that.
That's what
Okay.
I was gonna, I don't know if you want, sorry, I don't have a mouse, so I have to toggle through screens to get through my audio, but I think we should wait.
Yeah, got
He
it.
now knows that he is to be here on April 1st. And then if things don't go the way we plan to on April 1st, it will be my recommendation to issue a $300 violation
Okay.
fee.
So the updates, MDR VMP 2026. Let me pull this up because I actually did not look at this. Where?
Hey, while you're looking that up, Madam Chair,
Yeah.
Herlin, you had sent an email about 1168 Mass Ave.
I did.
So, did you read
And
the meeting notes, Richard?
no,
There's some notes.
okay.
Okay. Harlan, you have your hand raised?
Yes. You were pulling up the yearly vegetation plan.
Yes.
This is just a notification for a public hearing that MDAR is having. Typically, they do this before they file they typically file 5-year vegetation management plans, and this is the hearings for those vegetation plans. So like it's a right of way management regulation. The meeting is going to be held on March 27th at 9:30 a.m. and there's a Zoom link and it's available to the public. You can make comments prior to the meeting. There's a 21-day comment period, and you can attend also if you'd like.
Okay, and then this is just roadways. This isn't because I know we've done the train tracks.
Yeah.
But it looks like this is roadways.
Yeah, the train tracks come through Mass
Keyless.
DOT, yeah, Keolis and Mass DOT.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions about this from members of the commission? Okay. All right. I'm going to go on to Lunenburg Earth Day. Harlan has really been doing some planning. What's funny is when we started the meeting, Harlan, my boss texted me and sent me a picture of the thing and said she's going to take her kids. And she didn't know I had anything that she didn't even notice that it was conservation. She just saw it on social media and texted me. So it's definitely getting to people, and they are seeing it. As far as Earth Day, I mean, I'm happy to volunteer and help out if needed. And is there anything that you need from us? I know you really have hit the ground running with this.
I would appreciate all the volunteers I could get. So
Okay.
far we put out a little blotter on the town of Lunenburg socials and webpage. The event will happen on Wednesday, April 22nd from 2 to 6 p.m. We will have vendors, local organizations, and some informative sections and family like arts and crafts things. It'll be held at TC Passios. And so far, we have a few local organizations that have signed up to have tables. DPW will be there with information on recycling and selling rain barrels at a discounted rate, I believe. We have Mass Grow Native. who will be there. Red Trillium will be there too.
Grow
We
Native is
have,
going to be there?
yes,
Awesome.
we have a local apiary who's also going to be there. And you know, I think the post that went out today on social media was asking for people who would like to be an organization or a vendor local to the area. So we're still looking for more folks who would
Okay.
like to participate.
Okay. Mike, are you going to be back for Earth Day?
I will still be out of the country on Earth
Oh,
Day.
right. Italy, right?
I'll be in Italy
Okay. Nice.
celebrating Earth there.
Yes. That's a good place to celebrate Earth, from what I hear. I
I
haven't been. It's on my
I've been told.
list.
Never been there, so I'll let you know if that's true.
Okay. Can't wait. Okay. Yeah, so I will take the day off and help you any way I can, Harlan. And yeah, and then if anyone else is interested, just let Harlan know. And then I was just gonna bring up the flyer, maybe. And then
If
while
you
I'm
can,
doing
that would be great. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I have different browsers for different things. And I'm not signed into Facebook on any of them. Gosh, they're making me select images of crosswalks. Okay.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Hi, I would just like to offer my help also
Awesome.
on Earth Day.
Great. Thank you, Andrea.
Sure.
And I'm not expecting Rich to be in the area yet. When do you come back, Rich?
Mid-April, we're planning to be back.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess things start to ramp up for you
Oh,
around
yes. Yep.
when does the garden center open?
It should be opening within the next 2 weeks, weather dependent.
Oh, okay. Wow. Gosh, I can't believe we're already at plant buying time. That's
Yep.
crazy. Where does the time go? Where are you still in the Caribbean right now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right, let's see. Is it letting me log in? They don't make this easy. And I don't want to complain because you know, security is good. But sometimes it's really annoying. All right, let's see. Lunenburg. Is it in the Lunenburg Independent group? Oh, you know what? You emailed it to me, didn't you? That's probably easier. My brain. Birthday. Flyer. Okay. I feel like the one that my boss sent me is a little bit different than this one, but
Yes,
I'm
I was
not
gonna
sure.
say our IT person edited a little bit and added a QR code, because
Let
she's
me
great
just
at what
email
she
this
does.
one to myself so that I can. Forward to. Okay. Let's see if that works. Oh, I forgot my phone is actually linked to my computer. Of course, that's not working. Oh, here we go. Select.
Are you still having trouble?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always having trouble. Let's see. I'm almost there. All right. Send files. There we go. I'm sending it from my phone. Oh, it actually worked. I emailed it from my text and that worked. All right. So here we go. Of course, where is now Zoom is being silly. Here we go. Share. All right. Here it is. Everyone see that? So this is the,
Very nice.
isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Little QR code. So I'm going to use that to sign up as a volunteer. Is that for volunteers too?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it's great. Thank you so much, Herlin. This is awesome.
I think it'll be
Okay.
a good day.
I think it will too. Especially, I thought my boss, I was like, hey, I was like, I'm about to talk about that. But she's gonna leave early and take her kids. They are 2 and 5, 2 and 5. Okay. Next thing we have is we don't have any old business. Although can we start getting budget updates, Herlin, at like the middle meeting of the month moving forward? I think the
Sure.
budget is weird now because of the combination with land use, but
If I can be completely transparent, I would prefer the commission give me about a month. I
yep,
need to sit down because I think there have been some issues with the allocation of funds, and I
okay,
need to get to the bottom of that before I can get some concrete numbers.
okay. That's fine. We haven't had
Okay,
them in this long, so another month isn't gonna kill us.
perfect. I appreciate that.
Okay, so committee reports, we don't have master plan here. We don't have oh, Andrea, I need to talk to open space. I totally spaced. I spaced. I will get that done. I'm gonna first thing, actually probably when I get off the meeting,
Okay.
just to make it official.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try to remember that. Okay.
Great.
And then stormwater is me. We have met, we had a public info session. A bad link was given, so like 32 people came, so hopefully more people watched the, uh, on the recording. But that's all I have for stormwater, just the same. We've taken a break. We have a meeting next week. It's been nice. And then upcoming meeting schedule. Next Wednesday, 4/1 at 7 p.m. Does anyone have anything that they want to add before we look to adjourning? Okay. Well, on that note, I think I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So
So
moved.
move. Second.
All right. Okay, so it's Mike with the motion and Rich with the second. Roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
and I for myself. Thank you all so much. It's really nice to have you here, Herlin. It's great. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Have a
night.
good night, everybody.
Thank
Thank you,
very much.
everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.